Good evening, buenas tardes, en el amor de Dios. We are now going to expose the architectural feature number 5 of this Unbeing House, of this psychosocial torture house. It is the condensation issue. Well, first of all, you need to know the toxic gazing can happen through the windows, through the door frames, or through the ACs, mainly through those three spots. Possibly can happen through the electrical too, but that has not been confirmed explicitly. The other three, yes, have been explicitly confirmed. Well, why this is so important to be understood? Well, do you see these glass squares? They are not there by casualty, and we are going to demonstrate that right now. You see those windows there? These 4 windows, 3, especially these 3. Well, they are totally useless there. If you want light in those spots, if you really want light in the house, well, those 3 windows that cannot be remotely opened from the stairs will be simply be glass squares. So why didn't put glasses? They didn't put glass squares there. Well, very simply because the windows are needed for for poison gas distribution. So they need the windows there. But well, why would you put then these glass squares in the first floor and in other parts too? We are going to show the pattern right now. There are some here too. Well, this is important because these glass squares, according to ChatGPT, who saw the pattern, well, these glass squares very probably mark the places in which the toxic gas pipes go through. And this is very important to be understood. These glass squares has functions. One of them is concealing the thickness of the wall. That is not exactly as thick as a concrete block. Just to let you know what a concrete block is this. They're a little bit wider, all right, than that. And that has importance, a lot of importance. Why? Because, well, that space is needed for covering toxic gas pipes that are the ones seen in this. There is another vent here that I didn't saw. There is another one. Once again, you see it, and this is Princesa, vente, princess, vente, vente. You see it right now. This is very evident to be seen. You see it? It's opposite. It's going out. It's opposite direction. It can't be for water. All right. You can hear, as I say this, the neighbors talking with a very fake normalcy tone, as they always do everywhere, everyone around me. All right. Why the details that I'm telling is important? Because if what ChatGPT says is true, these squares are placed in places that either they cover or conceal the thickness of the walls, including inside the closets. The detail is not minor because walls inside the closets are not meant to be so thick. So you need something to conceal that. And there go the glass, the light squares in the side of a closet. Who will need a square light inside of a closet? If you want light, you will enjoy it. But well, another key feature of the glass squares can be seen in the place they are most located. Here, in this place. That is my bathroom. Why? It's very absurd. You see this side, you see this other. It's very absurd to have so many squares in a place that is so. I mean, you don't go to the bathroom to enjoy light, you go to the bathroom to bath. So why would you put so many glasses there, especially in this particular corner? There are 7. This is the corner that has most in the whole house. Why? Because the squares are needed to avoid condensation. They regulate the temperature where the pipes, where toxic gas is circulating. Yes, that is an issue, and this is the architectural feature we're explaining right now. How they manage the condensation issue. Toxic gas cause a lot of condensation issues, not only in the first floor, in the second too. The main place in which they are caused, not surprisingly, is precisely in this zone. Besides the glasses, the square glasses, the glass squares, having a function of conceal and mark where the main toxic gas pipes goes, they also have a function to conceal the thickness of the wall, and they also have a function to regulate the temperature. All these functions are integrated. Where the glasses are, there will be more controlled condensation issue. And guess what? Where the condensation issues have been more strongly observed in the House of Tortures. Guess what? It's in places in which precisely toxic, in which glasses are not there. The first place in which they have had very serious condensation issues is here, around the space where my door frame is. Please remember, around the door frame, there is toxic gas release system. I will show that right now. Well, curiously enough, all this zone had become very condensated, not only with transparent water, also with amber-brown water. That is a sign of a very concrete toxic gas that I don't remember right now. I will check if I can see it in the card. But that by itself is a mark of a very concrete toxic gas. It's not only one, it's not any one, it's one that causes that kind of condensation. Let me see if I wrote it here. No, I didn't write it here, but if as soon as it appears, I will explain that which the toxic gas is. Right. So they have had very serious issue in this part of the roof. In general, the condensation issue has been observed in the whole first floor. I had a painting that was here in this wall. Notice that this wall doesn't have glass. That is why I am here. This particular wall doesn't have, it's the only one open that doesn't have glass. Well, this one here, the painting I had here had huge condensation issues. Huge. You were painting and the next morning you will come, it was absolutely covered in condensation. You say, where this condensation is coming from? Not only there, here too, you can see there are places where the glasses are not here, the glass squares are not present. This painting will have very serious condensation. As a matter of fact, it has it right now. No, right now doesn't have it. All right, but it has have it. As a matter of fact, even the progenitors have tried to say that is caused by my excess use of air conditioner. No, it's not that. It's something related to the condensation that is caused by their toxic gas system. So, let's see now in the second floor where there have been huge condensation issues. Mainly not inside my room of tortures. I had never had huge issues with the condensation inside the gas chamber. This is the frame. This is the frame that have caused so much condensation in the first floor. But there is a huge condensation issue here in this wall and here. And guess what? These are the walls that doesn't have squares. And please notice, the squares in this bathroom are totally covered. They don't care the light at all. They don't care the light. They simply care the use of the purpose of the glass squares to avoid condensation. Now let's see the pattern of the glass squares outside through the whole house. just have drooling right now. That is our sign of toxication. Remember, toxication is happening with me closing the water bubbles that were there, and also with the main recharging pipe of this house being closed. That 100% confirms they are coming from there. The toxic loads are coming from there. The neighbors are putting right now reggaeton loudly in the distance. That is social gaslighting too. And now the woman neighbor is screaming their children. Yeah, they keep closed right now. All right. Now see the pattern of the glass square. There are 7 there, 3 down, 5 here, 3 here. There are 5, there are 8 here. That is the highest. I thought it was the highest in my zone. It's in theirs. We just let you know, I use it to sleep in the floor exactly there. And well, that is a closet. That has under no circumstances justification to have such amount of light. They also play with the light squares here. Okay, we're going through here. The more pissed off the people around me are, the more they fake normalcy. That is a very consistent pattern of social control torture tactics. There you have 4. There you have 3. And you see in the first floor there are none. If the issue was for light, why in the upper part you have them and the lower part you don't? My room needs more light than the living room? That's a very absurd rationale. And well, we are in the front part again. So, where these glass squares are is crucial to them dealing with the condensation management of having such toxic gas system distributed through the house, all right? We are praying very humbly for the children that are in the neighborhood's house right now, so they can be safe. All right? We know from their own experience, that when narcissistic abusers retaliate, they do it upon the most innocent and vulnerable children, pets, elderly that can't defend themselves. Well, this will be all of architectural feature number 5, the condensation management of the house of tortures. All right?